morning, beautiful people. Welcome to yet another episode of the Younib Breakfast Show with me, Peninah Wachera. I hope you guys have woken up well and are excited to face your day. For me, I am really excited on starting this day, and I'm sure it will be a good day, right? I have done my morning affirmations. I hope you guys have already done yours. And remember, you can always share your morning affirmation with us through our social media platform, Younib_TV on Instagram, Younib Media TV on Facebook, and there's a number on the screen. You can SMS or WhatsApp 0719 144 144, right? As it is the norm here at the Younib Breakfast Show, let's go straight to the morning bite of the day. So yes, today we're going to be answering your questions. Vilimona kwa morning bite of the day. Today we have just given you a good morning, a good vibe quote for you to start your morning. So we'll be answering your questions. We've already done 2 question and answer sessions, and today we'll be doing our third, so that you can continue answering your questions and what you guys have been giving us through our social media platform. Remember, this show is probably brought to you by Miss Ashan and Younib organization, and we're trying to reach out to the community and to help you guys when it comes to your mental health. Remember, if you need any psychological help, you can always call the number 0700 352 250, and our psychologists will be able to help you out. As you guys can see, I am joined by 2 familiar faces. Already, nasemanga, these people, when we introduce them, we should be singing out their names loud, right? So I'll do the introduction because anyway, wameongeanga sana when it comes to doing the introduction. But anyway, karibuni sana kwa Younib Breakfast Show.
Thank you.
And please feel at home. Already you're at home, guys, right? Yeah. So how is your morning?
My morning is quite okay. I've had a very productive morning, and I'm really excited to be here.
Beulah, how's your morning?
My morning is great. Yeah, excited to see what today will be about.
We can actually hear from your voice that you're really excited to start this conversation. And as I usually say when we have the question and answers, our psychologists here don't know at all what you guys have asked, so I'm surprising them here. And also I'll be mentioning whoever will be answering at random. So guys, that is what we're doing here. Quite interesting, right? Yeah. So let's dive into the questions of the day. Number 1, how can I better manage my anxiety and stress levels on a daily basis? Beulah.
Right. So anxiety, stress, we've talked about those quite a bit, and we've agreed that there are things that, come up in life. We've agreed that anxiety is normal, stress is normal. It's just that we want to make sure isifike a level where it's chronic, where it's beyond your coping abilities. So what can you do in your everyday is to make sure that you are attending to those things that are stressing you, giving you anxiety, so that there's no build-up, to make sure that you're practicing your coping skills, whatever that is for you. Kama ni kufika home, unapika, ama you just take a long shower, ama you go tembea, whatever it is that makes you feel like you're relieving that stress, especially kama it's something that can be done around nature. And I know sometimes tukisema nature, it sounds like you need to go pay vacation, river, nini. No, just where there are trees, where there are 2 flowers, you walk, you smell them. So constantly doing things that are sort of like your hobbies, but they kind of help you relieve your stress. And then you also learn how to manage your time, how to manage your resources, if those are the things that are causing the anxiety or the stress. Yeah, so it's in the daily management and the daily to small self-care things that you can do for yourself. Yeah.
It's in the small things, right? Next question, it's for you, Mutembei, immediately. What are some healthy coping mechanisms I can develop to deal with anxious thoughts and feelings?
Well, as Beulah has said, the major important thing is to actually know what triggers you. So something, it could be like I woke up late, I used my finances inappropriately. So once you know those triggers, once you know what is triggering my anxiety, now that's when you can now introduce the coping mechanism. So when we talk about the positive ones, there's something as simple as journaling. just having a recollection of how a state made you feel and what caused the state. Like, say for example, last week I really misused my finances. That made me feel bad about this. I spent my money this way, and that brought about the whole feeling of the anxiety. But now you see, if you have a journal, you're able to go back next week and be like, oh, last time I did this and it caused this. So by you having a detailed recollection of what your episodes, your triggers, you're better able to manage them and to avoid the situations like that. Another positive coping skills is, as Beulah has said, is just being in nature. It doesn't take a lot. Sometimes because you're so much in your head, just being out of your space, out of your bubble, seeing other people, getting to listen to the cars honking, the children playing, seeing the trees, the birds singing, it can take you away from that, from the being cocooned in your head, and take you away from the anxiety attack or the anxiety situation that you're in. So it's basically the positive coping skills is anything that is not self-destructive, but it also helps you calm. It helps you get calm. It makes you sort of like it shouldn't be like an escape from the triggers themselves. It shouldn't be an escape from the causes of the anxiety, but it's something that makes you feel better. It could be fixing your favorite meal, reading your favorite book, watching your favorite movie, anything that is not self-destructive but makes you feel better.
So it is just something that makes you calm down, in short, yeah? That is what you can consider doing. Okay, next question. Are there any relaxation techniques like meditation or deep breathing that can help calm my mind?
Yes, actually the question has just answered itself. Yes, those are skills that we really rely on. We usually say that like your first line of intervention is your breath, because ni kitu konayo all the time throughout, ni kitu thank God ni buje, and it's when we talk about the nervous system, when someone is having an anxiety attack or is in a very stressful space, what they're relying on is the parasympathetic nervous system. And so when that is heightened, it's not coming back down. That's now when we end up with this heightened, prolonged situation where you're in stress or you're in anxiety. So what the deep breathing actually does is it relaxes that system, and I said calm down just by sending oxygen to your brain. It helps your brain to now send those signals to tell this system that imewaka, it's on alert. It's like it's saying danger, that danger imeisha, it's okay, you can calm down now. Yeah, so deep breathing is something that is highly recommended. There are various patterns depending on what you want to do. Sometimes if you're trying to combat an anxiety attack, so it's good to train yourself to do square breathing, whereby you breathe in, inhale for 4 seconds, then you hold it for 4, then you breathe out for 4, then you stay like that for 4, or you rest for 4. So it's like forming a square. There's also a pattern of inhaling for 3 seconds, holding it for 7, exhaling it for 8. So all of those are just allowing your brain to maximize on that oxygen, and it helps your system calm down. Yeah.
Okay, very helpful actually, and I hope you take the advice. But also, we also did a show on meditation and mindfulness. If you didn't get the chance to actually watch that, you can always go refer to our show on YouTube, and you'll be able to find help when it comes to meditation and mindfulness. Okay, yeah. So next question. I've been feeling down and unmotivated lately. How can I start to improve my mood and regain a sense of purpose?
I always advocate for making sure that you know what is triggering something, because the first thing that you need to do, the first point of contact is to know, why have I been feeling low? Is it because of something somebody said? Is it something I did do? I did not do? Is it something that I have control over, or do I not have control over it? Once you know why you're feeling low and what is triggering it, then you're we have a better chance of trying to deal with it. But also, just to raise your moods, there's a couple of things that one can do to raise their moods. Sometimes it involves anything that spikes up your dopamine levels. It could be your favorite food. Personally, I like to treat myself to a bowl of spicy noodles because the end result makes me long for it, because there's the whole preparation. The boiling of the water, trying to make sure that the noodles are in perfect condition, the spices, trying to figure out what else I can add, So by the virtue of me being in that space, it also makes me feel like, oh, since the water is boiling, can I do something else? Then when I'm doing that, can I do something else? So you find that one simple action can actually raise your productivity levels, and then that will motivate you, because it feels nice to know that, oh, I'm in a clean house. Maybe the next time I'm gonna do is maybe I'll go fold the laundry, or maybe I'll do something else. So as something as simple, something that is very simple, might actually give you the motivation to complete even the most hard tasks. And personally, I feel like whenever I feel like I have a lot to do, I usually try to start with the very small tasks, the very easy ones. Like take this here, put it there. Then when you're there, do whatever it is that you're supposed to do there. Because if you start with the very big tasks, you're going to get unmotivated, because it takes longer. It takes longer for you to complete this task, and then you're gonna maybe feel like, oh, this is taking too long. Why am I even bothering? But the completion of small tasks here and there makes you feel like, oh, I have done 3 things today. I'm ready to face the big one, the last big one. So generally, it's just doing the small things that revolve around the big ones and make you feel accomplished.
So it is for you to just accomplish small tasks that will be able to help you accomplish bigger one. Actually, when you're mentioning that, I remember it's always a lot of stress when you see you have a lot of things. When you look at your planner on a daily basis and you say, hey man, this is a lot for me to do, But if you break it into smaller things, like if I do this, I can do this, then it will help you out. So thank you so much for the advice. Guys, remember, if you want to send in your questions, you can always do so through our social media platform. Younib_TV on Instagram, Younib Media TV on Facebook, and there's a number on your screen. You can SMS or WhatsApp 0719 144 144. For now, let's take a short break and we'll be back with more. Welcome back. This is still the Younib Breakfast Show, and today we are answering your questions. The questions that you guys have been sending in. Today we are having the privilege of answering what you've been asking. Remember, you can always interact with us through our social media platform. Younib_TV on Instagram, Younib Media TV on Facebook, and there's a number on your screen. You can SMS or WhatsApp 0719-144-144. Remember, if you need any psychological help, you can always call the number 0700-352-250, and our psychologist will be able to help you out. So coming back to our questions, what are some signs that my low mood may be turning into depression, and when should I seek professional help? Mutembei.
Well, first things first, I want to clarify that feeling low does not necessarily translate to you being depressed, but it is feeling low in itself is a sign of depression, but it needs to be very prolonged. See ati unamka, today you're feeling low, kesho uko like niko sawa, then maybe the next 2 days something happens, then you're feeling low. It needs to be consistent and it needs to be prolonged over a long time. But one of the basic signs that you're getting depressed is that you tend to isolate, because a lot of when it comes to social settings, the triggers, you need to converse, you need to share your thoughts. You can't just show up somewhere and just sit. So the anxiety of speaking or interacting in itself, you tend to deviate away from that. So you'll find that you're going to isolate, and then because the energy levels are lower, you find that you're not indulging in the activities that you were doing before. Let's say you enjoyed to go watch a movie, or you used to hang out with your friends, or you used to go play a football match. You find that you're trying to get yourself out of that space, so you're keeping to yourselves. You're not enjoying the activities you used to do. Let's say you're not taking care of your body image. You don't have motivation to wake up and go shower. You don't have motivation to fix yourself a meal, so you're not feeding well. And then now, because there's so many racing thoughts, you find that you're not even getting enough sleep. So it's a lot of signs, but those are the major ones, because these are the ones that you can actually take notice of. You're better, you yourself, you can reflect and be like, oh, I've only slept for 4 hours today. The last time I ate was maybe on Saturday. I've not been to church in 3 months. I've not been doing whatever, I've not been being myself of late. But then now, when it comes to other people, noticing in other people, you find that we have not seen Nani in a couple of days, and then Nani is looking a bit alikuwa anapenda kupaka makeup. alikuwa anapenda kung'ara. Sahii siku hata ajali siku hizi, ukimwongelesha maybe you're just so irritable, anakujibu tu. Sometimes unamwongelesha tu anakuangalia tu, siku hizi anakaa very 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 withdrawn, yes, show up to church, but anakaa kama tu hayuko church, ako dunia ingine, So those are some of the signs that you're getting depressed. And then now, if these signs I've been going on for quite some time, they're consistent, they keep spiraling down, then that's when you need to feel like, hey, now this is bad. You need to talk to somebody. But as before we even get there, there needs to be need for us to always be talking about whatever it is that we're feeling. That's why I would advocate for people, be like, reach out to your friends. You haven't talked to them in 3 days. Reach out to them. Ask them what is happening in your life. Or are you doing okay? And then now maybe you can be able to pick small signs, like, oh, nikimpigia leo hashiki simu, nikimpigia next time ananiambia ako busy. So those are some of the things to catch before things get out of hand.
Yeah, so I hope you guys, the person who asked this question, will be able to benefit from that. Remember, also, we have done this conversation on depression. So if you want more elaborate reasons on what you can do, you can always go and find it on our YouTube channel, and you'll get the necessary information there. Remember, it's good for you not to self-diagnose, but to seek medical help from a psychologist. Yeah, tumesema many times people go to Google, they search for their symptoms, and manzemi nilikufa kitambo, and they're still alive, So it is important for you to seek medical help. Then after that, they will be able to know whether you are anxious, whether you are depressed, or anything. Okay. Yeah. So next question. Are there any lifestyle changes like exercise, diet, or social connection that can help boost my mood naturally?
Yes, they are. And again, the person who's asked the question has actually mentioned the very things that we emphasize on. Yeah, so the very first thing is nutrition, making sure that your body is getting the correct nutrients. And you really educated us when you had the nutritionist over on what is just kujaza tumbo and what is kujenga mwili and brain. So making sure that your diet is healthy, it is balanced, you're getting your nutrients in through your vegetables, through your food, through sunshine, just making sure pia that you get that morning sun ama the jioni sun is a very healthy thing to do. Again, also because when we're looking at someone who is depressed, one of the things that lets you know is that hata kufungua curtains becomes a problem. They just want the darkness. But actually what you don't know is that sunlight in itself is dawa. When you receive that vitamin D, it sends the hormones that you need to your brain to kind of help, give the serotonin and the endorphins and the feel-good hormones. So nutrition is a very key thing. Exercise, we've talked about that one. And it doesn't even need to be long. I'm a fancy. I don't know. Sometimes when we say exercise, it sounds like it's so serious, or Mr. Kiku lose weight, or so it's just kidogo. 15 minutes is something everyone can afford in their day, and it's things that you can do with just your body. You don't need equipment, a gym or whatever. But again, what it does, it releases dopamine, which is a feel-good hormone, as well as those hormones that are released when you've accomplished something. And it's highly recommended asubuhi because it can give you that energy boost you need for the whole day to accomplish what you need to do. So yeah, exercise is a very great tool to just maintain good mental health, good physical health. You've talked about social connection as well. Yeah, because that's something that, no one is an island. And again, one of the things when your mental health begins to decline, or when you're starting to feel like siko sawa, one of the first things is wanting to withdraw. Sijiski kwenda church leo, sijiski kwenda shule, sijiski kwenda wherever, like even work, you just go because you need money at the end of the day. But if you had the option, really, ungejifungia with your curtains and maybe your series and talk to no one. So that tells us that that's something that we need. That's something that actually helps us to maintain a good balanced state. Yeah, so it doesn't mean that everyone needs to know what you're going through, but sometimes I think everyone knows the kind of friends you have. Unajua Mutembei ni ule wa nikitaka kucheka naenda kwake, Pesh nikitaka kulia naenda kwake, you know who you usually go to. So just making sure that all those areas of your life are being fed. Again, with the social connection, these are spaces that stimulate your mind to do the things that you enjoy doing. They stimulate your soul in terms of hobbies or passions, your spiritual life, if we're talking about religious places where you're getting that connection. So yeah, these three things are very key in ensuring that your mental health is good, in ensuring that your mood stays okay. And I'll add one more, sleep, that we also talk about a lot. So making sure that you're getting at least 7 hours of good quality sleep. So that means you're not falling asleep AV, because that will not be good quality sleep. It's practicing what we call sleep hygiene, and I think we talked about it, whereby you're doing everything possible to make sure that utaingia that REM sleep, that sleep that's actually restorative. That sleep that's actually restorative, that sleep that unamka unafeel enyewe nimerest, not that I am tired. So sometimes it means sacrificing some of these things like screens. You can replace it with a physical book, or a glass of some warm milk, or some hot water, or whatever, just something that can help your body calm down before you go to bed, so that your brain is actually able to register, now we're going to rest.
Thank you. I hope you guys will consider the advice that you've been given. Next question. How can I communicate my mental health needs more effectively to my friends and family?
Okay. when we talk about communication, it's not necessarily verbal. Sometimes it's written. So for you to communicate better, you need to be able to feel comfortable around the people, you know. And as of late, we are always talking about mental health, and we are all advocating for mental health. But as on our own, we're not keeping ourselves in check. We want to be like, oh, to sort mental health, let's talk about mental health, but we don't want to let people in. So with the thing is, if you're fasting, the first thing is, if you're uncomfortable talking to your friends about your mental health, then that means there's something wrong already. That means either there's the fear of judgment, either there's the fear of maybe they'll see me less of a person, maybe they're used to seeing me as a strong person. How am I going to tell them that I'm depressed now? So it's the first things first is to self-reflect, you know, be like, oh, why is it that my communication about my mental health is not okay? Is it because I am too closed out? Is it because the people who I'm with, I'm not too comfortable about them? Are they people who are going to go talk about it to other people, you know? So the first step is to actually ask yourself, why is it that I am very uncomfortable? But also at the same time, if it's because there's the fear of judgment from other people, that's when us as counselors become in, because we always try to provide a safe space, and we always try to make sure that there's no prior connection between us and the clients. That means that there's this popular belief within the field that you cannot counsel your friends and family because you're already biased, you know, because you by the virtue that you know so much about them, that means you're either going to mislead them because unajua lakini hii shida sili kutoka last week venye nani alikuchapa ukofi, you know. So when it's in the event where you're feeling like it's not a safe space between my friends, that's when we come in. But also it could be the fact that you're very closed out on yourself. You've put up such high walls because you're like, everybody has to see me as this strong person. I have to be the most independent person. I don't need anybody else in my life. I can face everything head on, you know. And one of the major things actually that you can do is to practice sharing with other people. You can talk about your day, how has my day been, you know, and then during that sharing you might find that something might come up like, oh, bafu lakini kuna mse kwa mata aliniangalia vibaya, kuna mtu alinikanyaga kiatu yangu yenye ilikuwa napenda nikakasirika, you know, lakini naona kama hata sikukasirika kwa sababu ya kiatu, maybe this happened. So it's the small things that really count. As we keep advocating, it's the really, really small things that count, you know. Talk about your day, and then after that it's like an onion, just unpeel, you know, unpeel until we get to the root of the issue, because we're not going to lie to ourselves that we are going to be like, nitafika hapa tu niseme pesha nikwambie nasikia niko na mizigo zimenibeba. Of course there has to be that point of oh hi, sasa pesha umekuaje, how have you been in nini. So the fact that I'm listening to your stories, that means I'm like, but I also faced something like that last week. Then you share the insights. So it's really about creating a safe space for you, you know, and it takes time. It doesn't come in a day, but you have to be actively involved towards the creation of that safe space. So it's not just you sharing your experiences, it's also about you listening to other people's experiences and trying to help them deal with that, you know, because once you help somebody, next time you're faced with such an issue, you know, oh, this worked out for them, maybe I can try this solution before it gets too much out of hand. So it's a two-way traffic. You give to get.
So for the person, the viewer who asked this question, communication, you just can't go and say, okay, now today I'm communicating. Like, it's a step at a time, and it's important to actually cultivate that. In every relationship, tumekuwa tukisikia tu, oh, communication is key. So for us, it means that we really need to work on our communication skills. We really need to start acting out, like, what will somebody else feel if I communicated this way? How will I feel if somebody came to me and communicated in this and this way? And it will make you consider it, and also it will open you up on ways you can be able to just go to a friend and say, anyway, this is how I am feeling right now. Because definitely, as Beulah said, you know your friends, you know who you can be able to go and talk deep issues with, and that one who you can always just be like, job iko poa, hata yangu iko sawa, and you just remain there. So it's important for us to just know also the kind of friends we have, so that you can be able to unpack. Even family members, by the way, there are family members who you can't actually talk to.
True.
You'll just be like, okay, so mimi niko poa, job inaendelea vizuri, hata nyinyi mko salama, aya ni sawa. And there are those ones who you can actually have conversations with and speak and unpack everything. So it's for you to just understand the kind of person you can easily speak to avoid also kwenda usikia gossiping iko nyuma, or the whole family knows about it, or and you did it on a secret or on just a friendly thing, not expecting somebody to go speak out about it. So it's important for you also to consider who you're telling. Isikufanye ukuwe more depressed or even more anxious about the situation, right? For now, I want us to take this short break, and we'll be back with more. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is still the Younib Breakfast Show with me, Peninah, Wachera, and my therapist here. And we're here to answer your questions, the questions that you guys have been sending from the shows we've been tackling. Going to the next question, and this is yours, Beulah.
Okay.
Should I disclose my mental health condition to my employer? And if so, how do I approach that conversation?
That's a very good question. It's a very necessary question. I would say it can be a bit of a dicey area. And so things to just think about, I think I will not tell you yes or no, but things to just think about is is that mental health condition currently really affecting your ability to work at that space, such that you've already been in trouble with your employer, with HR, that now you do need to give a valid reason for, the struggle, or if you do need certain benefits. Two, again, it comes back to the question on benefits. Do you need your employer to pay for insurance or to provide, the resources for that care? Because if so, then you may need to justify why, the insurance forms usually need your therapist or let's just say your healthcare provider to actually write down what it is that's going on. So in certain cases, then yes, you may need to. 3, what's the health of that work environment? Because there's a danger where you might say it and it becomes something that's used against you, So if you are making steps in your progress with your therapist, and you're actually able to pick up and to apply the skills that you're learning to improve your functionality at work, and you perceive that it's a space where ikijulikana, things will be very awkward, very dicey. Either it's used against you or might again affect your social connections at the workplace. Then it might be something to think about. Do they really need to know? But if it's an environment that is supportive, that cares about your mental health, that cares about your health in general, that is working towards, okay, let's have you be better, because once you're better, then we are all moving in the same direction, then perhaps it's a thought you can explore in terms of letting your employer know. So it's not a straight yes or no answer. It's an answer that requires you to look at the environment and to also look inside, so that you don't do something that will betray you, but you also don't hold yourself back from support that you might receive that would be helpful to you. Yeah.
So it's important for you to just make all those considerations so that you can get the necessary answer.
Yeah.
That you're the one to decide actually. Nobody can help you maybe decide that yes, it's important, or no, it's important. It's for you to see whether it is of importance to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to the last question. Okay, it's still with connected with the work. So I'm struggling to stay focused and motivated at work due to my mental health. What strategies can I use to be more productive?
Okay, I feel like I've insisted on this. The first thing is to figure out what's the trigger. What's making you lose focus at work? Is it because there's so much on your plate? Is it because there's high standards that you need to meet? Is it because the deadlines that you're supposed to meet? Is it the quality of the work? So all that might actually be affecting your concentration at work, because in as much as you're working on your desk, you're working on whatever you're supposed to be working, you're constantly thinking about how you either going to mess it up, either how you're going to miss the deadline, either the quality of the work is not going to be enough. So the first thing is to actually figure out what is making me to lose the concentration. Is it something to do with the workplace in itself, or is it something that to do with my personal life? Is it something to do with me as a person? So once you know that, then we can be able to actually solve that. But sometimes, we are all human beings, and we're not machines. So sometimes if you find that you're losing a bit of concentration, just take a break, Go get yourself a cup of water, because it's now, it's like a reset. I'm like, okay, so basi, now we can judge the productivity as per the last cup. Then we'll be like, okay, so then if you feel like you're getting a bit too tired, then fine, we take a break. We can go take a pee break. So now you reset it. It's sort of like you're resetting the clock. Okay, as per the last washroom break, how much have you been able to achieve? So keeping track of all that, you may actually be surprised to find that sometimes it's just because I was working for too long that there's so much that I'm thinking about and I've not been giving myself breaks. But also at the same time, maybe those breaks are the ones that are causing you to lose concentration on your work.
Yeah.
So it's also sort of a push and pull. Is it big? Okay, so as per the last break, how much have I been able to accomplish? As per when I first started to take the break, how long did I go for a break? Did I take 15 minutes and then I came back, worked for 5 minutes, then took another break? Is it because maybe my colleagues are always all up in my business? There's so much to actually look at when it comes to the workplace, and it's actually a good thing, because now you see with the workplace, it's sort of controlled. It's not something that other strangers or anybody random is going to show up and just dictate everything that happens. It could happen once in a while, but it's, you get to understand, these are my workmates, this is my employer, this is me as a person, So within that space, you just need to check within yourself, check within your circles, and ask yourself, what are the triggers for this lack of concentration?
So yes, we've been given quite good advice in this conversation, and as I usually say, we have a lot of questions that we answer actually. When you ask, we answer immediately, and there are those ones that we wait for these forums and ask. So unfortunately, we cannot answer all your questions right now through this sitting, but I hope we'll have another sitting where we can be able to continue answering our viewers' questions. So thank you for sending in your questions, for allowing us also to teach you guys every single morning, because it's because of you we get the opportunity to enlighten you about this conversation and to help you specifically when it comes to issues mental health. So thank you so much to our camera person and also our director Elias Mutina for making this show a success, and to everyone who is working behind the scene. to ensure that Younib Breakfast Show comes to you guys. We are really, really thankful for what you're doing. Your efforts are not in vain, okay? I also want to send a vote of thanks to you, our viewers, for sending in the questions, for always interacting with us through every social media platform, for always asking questions, for always speaking to us, for always also sharing the links to different people so that they can be able to get help. Asanteni sana. From me and my psychologist here, I would like to wish you guys a beautiful day ahead. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.